here by Justin if you
Oh,
see
okay.
Armory. So
Okay.
he told me to come over here.
I am going to tell them thank you. Thanks for
So
coming. How do you like it?
I love it.
You like it?
I love it. I love it.
You feel comfortable?
And oh, absolutely.
Good. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. I mean, I may be old, but I'm comfortable.
No, no, no. I just, as a female, for me, that's why I hated gyms.
Oh no, no.
So, you know, that
And
I.
everyone has been so respectful. If I need help loading or unloading, no problem.
Well, if you need any help and you see me here, or my hubby, grab us.
So it's been wonderful here.
I
I'm
love
so
it. I'm so
very
glad.
happy.
Irene,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm going to tell them I saw you today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Mark when I first came here and gave me the tour, and I said, yeah, I was referred over by Justin and Nicole over there at the Armory. And he goes, well, Lindsay and Josh are rarely ever here. And then he showed me, he goes, that's Lindsay.
Now I'm here.
And then he was telling me, I guess you're on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm actually going to, Mustard Mama. Yeah, we're going to
Okay.
do a live right now. I'm going to explain the Smith machine and how to use it, because it's probably one of the most intimidating machines, especially, I know, for me, when I first started lifting. And then there's a lot of things that advanced lifters don't know how to do on it. So I'm going to give kind of a little tutorial for a little bit and then go put my babies to bed.
And there you go.
Yeah.
And wonderful.
Yeah. Are you on YouTube?
Huh?
Do you go on YouTube?
I will now. I'll
Okay.
look you up.
Yeah.
I'll just.
I'd love that. I would love that. Yeah. And the community that I've got so far they're awesome. So it's fun to be a kind of a part of a little family online. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
meeting
Irene,
you.
thank you for coming and saying hi. I love it.
And I love it that you're all Christian here.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
It just.
The music, from the music to the policy.
And I love this. Bring your concealed weapon into it.
Yes. But there's so many people that conceal carry here. It's awesome. So the fact that I like that you do that too. So you have your CCW then? Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
You just got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah. You know, especially nowadays, it's just I got it because of my kids. I always have my kids with me, and I'm vulnerable because I've got 4 babies, you know, so.
You have 4 babies?
I have 4 kids. Well, my oldest baby's 9. My youngest is 8 months.
No way.
Yeah. 8 months, 2 years old, 7, and 9.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, but I'm always got them with me, and my hands are full, you know, so I'm always strapped because of them. We've got a little code word, so they know that if I say that code word, it means you don't ask questions, you just do whatever I say, even if it sounds weird, you just do it. There's danger. Bye, Julia. And do that. So we've got our little code words. I'm going to actually start getting them on training with Nicole, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get them well versed, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Start 'em young.
Yeah. It was nice to meet
Have
you,
a
Irene.
blessed
Yeah,
evening.
you too. All right, guys. Oh, she is. She's really sweet. What's shaking, Mark? Oh, I was going to log in with this phone. That's right. Can you guys hear the fan? Is it too loud? Tell me, tell me. Let's see if it says Mustard Mama is live. Oh, I'm not even in frame. Ew, we look really far away, so let's go like this. Yeah, there we go. That'll be better. I'll fix my hair so I'm not so crazy looking. Well, I'm crazy. Well, that's crazier. Wow. Okay. Time out. Okay. I think we're ready. So, it's on a delay, so I see my craziness. Okay. We have the Smith machine today. Probably, like I was telling that lady, one of the most intimidating machines that you can see when you come into a gym. It's a bar Obviously, it's attached to a rack. Most of the racks that you'll see for a squat rack, this comes off. So when they see, I know this is Mike, so when they is me. When I came in, when I first came into a gym and saw this, and there's like all these hooks, and it's like whatever, it's intimidating. So I'm gonna show you for the beginners, this is your part, what to do, how to set up for whatever you're gonna do. So the first thing is set up. You'll see the bar, it'll have its hooks. These bars will rotate forwards and backwards, okay? So to unhook it, you have to lift up and back, okay? And then to rack it, forward and down. I know that seems simple, but it's really freaky, like intimidating when you're new. So if you're going to do a back squat, a lunge, calf raises, anything where the bar needs to sit on your back, you want it to be at one of these hooks that's about shoulder level or below, like right below shoulder level. The fan is shaking, you guys, by the way. So I would always go lower versus higher, because if you go high, you're going heavy. If you get high and heavy, you have to then push up a lot more, and you're more likely to disengage your core, which then makes your back susceptible to getting pulled. So always go one below so that you're pressing up and going back like a normal squat. So let's see if you have any initial questions. Beep. Hi, Silas. Wow. Mental health, men's, okay, whatever. Okay, so if I'm gonna do a back squat or a lunge or anything lower body and need it to here, you'll see these numbers. I'm gonna leave it to probably 15. Put you up there. Now, actually we'll go 16. The weight of the bar, you have two different types of Smith machines. You have a linear bar, which is going to be more of the weight of a real bar. So an Olympic bar, when you see this bar not attached, it weighs about 45 pounds. Not about, it weighs 45 pounds. But this machine has a cable pulley that actually counteracts, like what word am I looking for, people? Help me. Is that an ad? It seems like it, huh, Mo? Mo. Mo. Okay, so it basically counterbalances the weight so that this doesn't weigh anything. It takes the weight away. Kind of like an assisted dip machine or an assisted pull-up machine, how the more weight you add to it, the easier it is, because it's the counter pulley type thing. So this one is is that, and the way that you tell is by the weight of it. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't weigh anything. It does weigh something, but because it guides you, and like I said, has that counterweight element to it, it doesn't weigh what it should. This should weigh 45 pounds. If I were to take it off this machine and like unslide it from here, this would weigh 45 pounds. Okay? So how much does it weigh? About 6 pounds to 20 pounds, depending on the machine that you have. This one, I believe, weighs somewhere between 8 or 9, not a ton at all. So what would you use it for without any weight? Well, if you're a beginner and you've never done a Smith machine back squat or a Smith machine lunge or a Smith machine shoulder press, or if you're doing isolation exercises, so like one arm or things like that, But for the most part, you're gonna add weight, and that's the benefit of it. You can lift weight a little bit easier with the Smith machine than you can free weight, because it's allowing you to rack the weight on the side while taking away the weight of the bar. So if I wanted to do a barbell back squat, which I have a video of, a tutorial of on the channel, so you can go and watch that. If I wanted to do just one of those, I have to count the bar. Well, this is a way that I can add on 10 pounds, right? So it's probably 20, 27, 28 pounds total. And I can get the movement down as a beginner before I move on to free weight. It takes some of the stability muscles away, some of that stabilization, because it's guiding me, but it gets me set up for that weight. So this is where then the advanced lifters can utilize this. Let's say I can go on a barbell back squat and I can lift, let's say I can squat 225 pounds for, let's say, 3 or 4 reps. But I want to try and squat 245 pounds, but I don't want to get injured. So I might come here and add on 245 pounds on each side. Well, not on each side, because that would be more than that, but total, right? Not including the bar. So you're going to need to actually add on 245, not just 200, like you would on a barbell. And then attempt my set on this. So I can do it with a little bit of help, make sure I don't get injured, make sure I have the correct form, and then go to free weight, okay? But that's one way that as an advanced lifter can make sure that they're utilizing the Smith machine, because a lot of the times they'll only do free weight. They won't see the benefit in the Smith machine anymore, but in fact, that's what a lot of the machines help you with. So let's see what you guys are saying. I think it exited me out. Makes sense. Hey, Sad, how are you? Okay, so with a Smith machine, you can, like I said, you can add on more weight than you would normally do with free weight, because it's going to guide you up and down. If you don't have one with the pulley system where it's taking away the weight of this bar, then this bar would be 45 pounds, which means then you would only add on the 200 like you would on a barbell if you were said advanced lifter. Or if you were a beginner, don't add anything, because that 45 pounds is going to feel heavy, even though it's guiding you, but it's going to get you set up to then go to free weight. Now, as far as foot placement, let's start with a squat. Because this Smith machine goes straight up and down, you don't have the ability to, on a squat, you'll see a lot of people have the bar on their lower back sometimes. Sometimes they'll ride it high. It makes it a little more difficult to change the direction of your lift because it's fixated straight up and down. Same thing with a lunge. You'll see a lot of people tilt over. Oh no! How did that fall? Tell me if you still hear me, because this thing popped off. It popped off, y'all. Tell me, I fell down. Are we good, V? Ow. Can we still hear? Let's see. I fell down. Oh, you can still hear. Oh, that's interesting. Hi, Beetle. Okay. So with a lunge, I need to turn me down now. Oh my gosh, my hair looks like I just went into a cyclone. Okay. So with a lunge, you'll see some people go forward, right? Like lean forward a lot. You'll see some people with a long stride, a short stride, and that's all going to be dependent upon what you're trying to train, if you're doing it on purpose, obviously. So a longer stride is going to be more glutes and hamstrings. A shorter stride is going to be more quad focused. So if I wanted to work more quads, I'm going to keep my stride shorter, but I want to make sure that I'm centered in the middle. My torso is centered in the middle of this bar, so right beneath it. You don't want to be too far back. You don't want to be too far forward. Now, if I'm trying to lean forward, obviously I'm going to be a little farther placed back. But with a lunge, for me, I'm going to go centered because I want to drop straight down. And I'm just going to shorten my stride for quad, and then I'll show you an elongated stride. So how I'd get set up is you're going to come underneath like this. I'm going to stagger my stance, lift up, get into position. Oh, I want quads. Now, if I let go of the bar, it's going to want to naturally kind of go forward. So as you're holding onto the bar, kind of twist it back so it stays into position. I always want to do glutes, so I want to go longer stride. So I'm going to make sure I go straight down, core is engaged, and then make sure this is at a 90 degrees, okay? Now you can go forward more, like I said. We could bring the foot back and do more of a forward lean. But for me, I don't feel like I get as much leg recruitment that way. So I try to keep my torso straight up, core engaged, and go straight down in the middle, whether long or short. So now we'll go long for glutes. Come under, up and over. Now we're gonna go long. And I focus on hips. I want my hips to get as much of a stretch as they can, and then have my glutes lift up. Go the other way. Down and up. And what you'll see is at the bottom, right here, when you pause, you're going to use more of this to lift up. Okay? But it's when I bounce that it becomes more quad and less glute. So try to, if you're doing glutes, try to pause a little bit at the bottom. Now let's see what y'all are saying. Beetle. V, hi V. Wow, my hair is like all over the place. Okay. For the advanced lifters, most of the time, a way that this will benefit you is going to be for shoulders. A really hard movement to excel at is a standing military press. So a standing shoulder press. Your feet on a shoulder press, the closer they are, the harder it is to press the weight up. So if you're going to take the hardest shoulder press you could do, it would be feet close together, standing, and then really with dumbbells, that would be the hardest. But with a bar. So the reason why I say that is because in a seated, I need to fix this because it's bugging me. In a seated shoulder press, you have the bench to push off of more. You have the floor to dig into more. And you have the seat to push off of, right? When you're standing, you don't have the bench. You can't really push into the floor, and you don't have the seat, okay? So all you have is core strength. This is where abs come into play. And then shoulder strength. And then you're gonna find your chest and your triceps try to help the heavier you get, which makes it hard then to advance really and grow in a standing military press. So this is where a Smith machine might benefit you and help you get past maybe a strength plateau. If you find that it's been really hard to do a standing military press past a certain point in your lift, this would be a great thing to kind of include. Even single arm, that's the other benefit of a Smith machine, is I can do a single arm shoulder press, okay? Instead of with just one dumbbell, right? I've got something guiding me. Your shoulders are more inclined to get injured because it's a smaller muscle, has more stabilizing muscles. So when you go heavier, those stabilizing muscles have a harder time, and then injury, right? So this is a good one you can incorporate, especially with single arm, because the bar, because it's a bar, if I were to go do both arms, my one side might help a weaker side. So if you have an imbalance in strength, try single arm standing military press with a Smith machine. And then add tempo. So slow it down. So decrease tempo, I guess. Slow down your tempo so that it makes it harder as you go heavier on the Smith machine, and that'll make what you lift out there feel so much easier, and you might find you really go past that plateau. But with both hands, for starters, especially beginners, it's hard to do a standing military press with even any weight. So this is a good one to get started on so that you can go to free weight, because it's gonna guide you straight up and down. Now, you're gonna find your chest, like I said, and then your triceps try to come into play since you don't have that backrest, you don't have the seat, and you can't really dig into the floor. And the way it does it, and it's a little easier to do this with the Smith machine because you are fixated with the bar. You're gonna start in front of you, which already brings in some of that chest. And then as you get tired, you'll see your elbows cave in more to lift the weight up. And that's because your body's trying to recruit more from your triceps, which is a secondary muscle to shoulders and chest. So anytime you do go heavy, make sure you're starting right in front of your face, almost like skimming your nose, pressing up, and when you come down, keep your shoulders to the side. So keep your chest open and keep the shoulders out here so that the weight is fixated more to the shoulder. That's gonna be more your primary muscle group than the triceps and the chest. If you find you're leaning back, and like I said, pushing in like this, and the bar is more above your chest, well, guess what we start getting into? A chest press, okay? So your body is trying to pull from a stronger muscle for the weaker muscles when you're going heavier, okay? So elbows out, especially on a dumbbell. In fact, let me grab dumbbells. This is a good one. Oh, I don't want that to disconnect. You know what? Let's say Dumbbell Debbie has all the dumbbells, or Dumbbell Danny has all the dumbbells, okay? Here's what you can do. For my beginners especially, grab a plate, stick your fingers in it like this, okay? Am I still in here? I'm in frame now, okay. So chest press, or shoulder press, like this. As you go heavier, you'll see you do this. And you bring your elbows in front of you, right? That's trying to use your chest more and triceps eventually. So if Dumbbell Debbie has all the dumbbells, it's a good alternative. Now, as you get heavier and heavier, if I like wanted to do, normally on a heavy day, I will lift 35s or 40s for a shoulder press on dumbbells. That gets a little harder to do with plates. Yeah, but I also don't really do that on standing military because I need to use the bench and the floor a little bit to get the weight up. So, yeah, that's why I don't do that much standing. Anyway, let's see what you say. Hoorah! Through what I have to do. It is my dream to meet. Aw, that's nice. I have to do anything to meet you through the app. Open a gym in India. Well, I coach. In fact, we just, if she's watching, hi. Our new client who starts on Monday, she's actually from Switzerland. I would love to open a gym in Switzerland. No offense to India, but Switzerland would be my jam. Saad, you'd need to meet me and hubby. How's that? Anyway. Okay, so what's some other things that we can do on the Smith machine, beginners, advanced, and everyone in between? We did lunges. You can do a squat. There's different feet placements for squats. So if you're looking to do more quad work, like you want to work your quads, you're not going to stick you're going to keep your feet closer to you, okay? And this is kind of with anything. So anything that you're trying to do with quads, you're going to have more of a like a knee flexion, okay? So that you engage the quad. When you don't let the knee go past or like more than a 90-degree angle, you're gonna recruit more of the glutes. So for example, if I let my legs go like this is being stretched and this is being shortened. But when I keep my shins straight, automatically my glutes push back and this is shortened and this is lengthened. And what you want is the muscle you're trying to work to be lengthened. It stretches, and then when the weight is added to it, the resistance, and you go to contract, you're getting these little tiny tears in the muscle. And the reason why you want to tear the muscle, not tear it where it's injured, but those little micro trauma tears, is because that's what sends that signal we talked about in the pre-workout video, the nitric oxide, right? That tells the brain, hey, there's damage. And you need to go repair it because this is survival. So if you really want to build muscle, it's all about tricking the body into thinking it has to build muscle because that's the last thing that it wants to do. It actually wants you to be a little bit fat in case you need to basically feed off of your own body. But muscle, unless there's a stimulus that it needs to be prepared for, it's not going to have a need to have that muscle, so it gets rid of it. It's unnecessary because it's constantly utilizing energy, which is why very muscular people can have a high calorie diet because they're constantly burning energy all day long. They need it, otherwise they can't maintain that muscle, right? That's why it's not good for survival, because you don't want some high maintenance vehicle running around, right? When there's like a gas drought or whatever. You get what I mean. Bad analogy, it's late in the day. I've been up since early, okay? Okay. So, let me get back to the Smith machine. Where was I? Help me, chat. Help me. Where was I? What else? We were going to do some other things, right? Oh, a squat. Okay. So, if I want glutes, I want to keep my shin as straight as possible, okay? So that my glutes go backwards and they're the ones that are getting the tears, so that they're the ones that are growing. If you're trying to grow the quads, bring it in closer. So we'll do far first and then close. So I'm gonna go under, lift up, pull back, come down, step forward, and then I'm basically sitting back into a chair, but my shins are still straight. I'm not going forward, right? My shins are still straight. My core is engaged, and I'm gonna use my glutes to push me, to squeeze as I come up, and I press my feet into the ground to lift up. And then I'm gonna come back and sit back. Now, one thing I'm even noticing right now is my glutes are sore already from my workout, and so my body is going like this as I'm dropping down. So that tells me that I've got some damage I need to focus on so I have better form, because you want to go straight back. Don't let the knees cave and come back up. Go straight back. Don't let the knees cave as you come back up and push through the floor. Let it go forward and rack. So that's for glutes. Now if I'm training quads, which I do twice a week, I'm gonna come under, press up, just a slight step forward, and I'm gonna let my knees track forward a little bit. And now I'm focused on a stretch here, okay? I don't need to go ass to grass, okay? Not everyone needs to do that, I promise you. But I'm at least gonna go to parallel and come back up. Down and come back up. Okay? So, and my butt would be on the floor. No, you're funny. Knees over toes and quads, Wilson, yes. Yes. Thank you, Saad, I appreciate it. So now, if you need to do chest, for my guys, if you have a problem going heavy, you don't have a spotter, bring a bench. In the middle. Bye, Jenny. Bring this lower. Bicep curl. See? Anyway. Now, a lot of them will have a safety here that you can use. Hold on. So let's say you're scared that you're gonna be Mo and you're gonna fall on your butt. We'll put that to 5. So all I did to move that, pull out, up, in. Almost most machines made, I would say, in the 1980s, 1990s are like those kind of systems, but you'll get to know more machines as you go. Okay, oh, the safety. See how it stops it for Mo? So if you were squatting, right? You're safe. Another thing you can do with this, with the bench, is a box squat. So that's a box squat. Normally I have people do that with free weight because my goal is to make you control that bottom part without help. But if someone was trying to move up in weight, and wasn't sure if they could do it yet and was nervous about it, I could see doing a box squat on here. But otherwise, my focus on a box squat is to make you control that very bottom, most, like the weakest part. Because I have my clients, you'll see a lot of people when they do a box squat will go and like bounce off of it like they're doing a lap dance or something. That's not my jam. I want you to control it, because my point is to make you stop at that weakest part, tap it with control, just like I made the guys do when we did back day with the boys. On the deadlift, they had to lightly tap the weight. They had to control it, not slam it, not use the momentum from, you know, just swinging the weight and then it bouncing back up at them. They had to actually do it from a dead lift, pretty much. So anyway, Mo's brace thing for safety. Okay. But my guys or my beginners, you can start with no weight. Okay. Chest press. Okay. Single arm chest press. When you're trying to fix one side that might be weaker than the other. Okay. Remember, this is like 8 to 10 pounds. And then close grip, which a lot of people neglect for triceps. I'm gonna go up a little bit more here. If I wanna do triceps, it's gonna come below your chest. Okay, so that's triceps. And then rack. So, that's shoulders. That's chest. If you want to do back with this, which you can, oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Just wave when you go through. Just wave, say hi. No, you're seriously, you're fine. Back, we can do some rows. So the only problem with this is, unless you're really tall, it's a little difficult because you want that extension for rows, like you want the stretch. So here I'm not having to really stretch my back. So I always use free weight though for that. I prefer it. But if I had to do it, hold on. If I had to do it on a Smith machine, I would use the aerobic steps. I feel like I'm playing with blocks, like with my kids. Now, you want to be on one side of the bar because you want the bar to be in front of you. So I'm going to rotate it back. And now I can get a bigger stretch in my back when I'm doing my row, okay? Safely. Now this is really good for beginner, advanced, and anyone in between, because most people are gonna be able to go heavier and heavier and heavier in back, especially beginners versus chest or shoulders. So this is a really good one, in my opinion, for rows. If you're going super duper heavy and hitting a plateau and need to go bigger. But for me, I like the regular free weight because I use my straps and I feel like that is more challenging for me. But that's how you can get that full stretch. Now these blocks are beneficial for, oh, let's go this way. Meow. A deeper stretch for the glutes, okay? You can do that. You can put it in the front and do a deficit curtsy lunge. You can make them higher and you'll see a lot of like the fitness influencers push this forward and almost hang onto this so that they can do a step up while keeping that shin straight. That's the key. But most people will fall over when they try to go back into that deficit. So this allows you the ability to get that deep stretch while keeping the shin straight and holding onto this and not even really using it for machine. So, what's next? Oh, Garza's here. See, you do like us. I told you. Welcome back. All right, so is there anything you guys want to see on here? This is really more of a instructional thingy. So not so much of like a, hey, let me teach you something about nutrition. Yeah. Kind of a shorter live. Was that Francisco? I think that was Francisco. Okay. So let's do, what's one that people don't normally think of on a Smith machine? My girls would be doing gymnastics on this bar right now, but we're not gonna do all that. Garza, what do you think? Wish I could stay. I have to get ready for bed. Mo, thanks for coming. And Beetle too, I know you guys have a life. And I know I'm late. Any other questions on the Smith machine? It's kind of an easy one. Otherwise, I will go home to my kiddos and I might have a bucha. What do you think? Bicep curls, triceps. Triceps, we could do, let's see, dips. Oh wait, we did triceps with close chest press. So you could do dips, you could do pull-ups, deadlifts. You could pretty much do anything on this machine. Now, I wouldn't buy this for your house because it's not free weight, and the weights you'd have to buy, like this is like 20 bucks. This is 20 bucks. This is a few thousand. So weight is like $2 a pound. So if you lift heavy and you just wanted 45s on each side, that's like 180 bucks just for the weight. And then eventually you're gonna use like probably 4 of those, 5 of those, 6 of those. So All right, all right. Anything else? Can we think of anything else? Uh-oh, what's uh-oh? Could you demonstrate, wait, what? The backwards leg press? Oh. Okay. Yes. We'll need the bench. Okay. So, we're gonna grab a bench. I always recommend keeping the butt part in the back. Because if you have the butt part here, that ain't a good thing. Okay. So, this one is tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. So, I actually haven't done this one in a while. V, I feel like you put me on the spot here, y'all. Okay. So, you're gonna squeeze up. Problem for most people is the bar moves. Now, also, it's not gonna be feasible to rack the weight like that. So, but I don't have all my bands. What I normally, in fact, let me grab one of the bands. I do have one. I hope it doesn't disconnect here. Okay. So, what I like to do gosh, it's been so long since I did this one. Do it on both sides, and that keeps it tracking this way. For the most part, you still have to tilt the feet in a way, just like you do with the bar. When it's on your back, you have to kind of tilt it back. You have to tilt this back with your feet, but the goal is not to get it all the way up in the air, okay? Because you almost want this to be fixated. The goal, so you could start here too, this is weird. Okay. So the goal is to bring your knees down so you get the flexion here, and then just to squeeze up. So this mimics, in a way, the reverse mimics this one. And this is actually more of what I do. So you're just trying to get the squeeze here. Don't focus so much here. Your legs stay at 90 degrees, and you're just trying to get the stretch when it comes down and squeeze up here at the top. So it's an upper booty. This just allows you to add weight to make it heavier. So you get more of that resistance. There we go. If you don't feel comfortable doing it on the Smith machine, do it how I did it. So you're in reverse. And if that gets too easy, you can add a band. I add a heavier, usually the 80-pound band is the one I'll do. This one I think is 10. and same thing. But remember, this just stays, your legs stay fixated. You're focusing on the stretch here and the squeeze at the top. Honestly, this is probably one of the most hated exercises that I do. I hate doing this one in the gym. And I just did it on live TV or whatever. Yeah, that's the one I hate to do the most, V. Thanks. I know I have trouble engaging the glutes on it, but it's good because just like the Smith machine, remember the benefit of this is not to use this all the time, it's to use it to get past plateaus or to get started, okay? It's not the end of where you should be. Does that make sense? I feel like that doesn't make sense. Like a beginner should use it, and then an advanced person should use it to get to the next level in weight. But not to just use solely this, because then you don't use stabilizing muscles. You don't use your core as much, in my opinion, because again, your core is a lot of your stabilization. And then it guides you. So it's a lot harder to highlight weaker points in your move, in your exercise, than when you have something like a dumbbell or a free bar. So use this as a tool, but not as a main mechanism. Yeah. Makes sense. Good. You almost flipped on the bench, V. Oh, careful. Yeah, it's awkward. So if you ever don't want to do it, a good alternative would be the one that I showed you, because that's what I'm trying to target with that same sort of movement, right? The same mechanics, just different. Your weight load is coming from the top on a Smith machine versus on a band, right? If you wanted to mimic a little more of the Smith machine, you could add ankle weights to it, right? Because then that would be similar to where the weight would be coming from here. Or you could even maybe, this is where my brain starts to go, like when I would be at a busy gym all the time, I would always have to find a different machine that maybe wasn't meant for that, just to get, because it's really just about, okay, where is the weight load coming from? Is it coming from above, below, at an angle, straight ahead? That's going to determine what body part it hits, or what part of that muscle it hits. And then is it cable? Is it plated? Is it a machine? Because if it's a machine, it's going to guide you in a lot of the movement, so that stabilization gets taken out. Is it some of these free motion machines? They're called free motion, and there's a reason why, because it allows more free motion in the movement despite being a machine. And I think that's where a lot of these pieces of equipment that you see in these newer gyms, they're trying to dig too deep into this, like, oh, how can we make this easier? Like, yeah, you want free motion with a machine, but there's a benefit to not having free motion to a machine, right? So you're almost in some machines, like where the feet move when you're doing a shoulder press, like what the fuck is that? Get your feet out of there. They should just be still. They don't need to move when you're doing your shoulder press. Anyway, but the free motion machines, there is a benefit because your hands have a little more movement to do more natural, like, so I was saying for here, you're fixated. So on a shoulder press, it's a little bit more difficult to have them right by your ears where you could with like a dumbbell. You can have it right here so that you're completely hitting those medials, the middle part of your delt here, versus where it's slightly forward, you're gonna get a little bit more of that chest engagement, like I said. Because when you start going forward, it's chest and triceps. Opening it up, going straight up, keeping these out, it's shoulders. Someone said something about creatine. Saad, creatine. So creatine is actually a really cheap, really easy supplement that you can find. It shouldn't be hard to find a good quality creatine. I actually get asked this all the time, like, should someone take it? Honestly, it's not my top 5. I would not say it's a top 5. Oh no. Because you have better supplements that you can take and you can put your money towards that will get you a lot farther with results than creatine will. Now, is creatine helpful? Yes. Is it bad for you? No. Should you take it if you want to grow? Yeah, you can. But like I said, you're going to see far better results if you take a multivitamin, a quality multivitamin. If you don't have a lot of fish variety in your diet, then like a whole omega, where it has all of your omega fatty acids in it. A good green supplement to help with digestion, antioxidants, micronutrients, and then usually magnesium would be my next one, glutamine. But creatine it's not even on my top 10 for people. In fact, I very rarely recommend it to people. So, and that's just because most people don't have an unlimited supply of money. Now, if you have an unlimited supply of money, your money's not a factor, add it in there and then just get it from a company that you trust. So, all right, guys. Any more questions? Good. Do they make, Mark says, do they make a greens in a pill instead of a powder? They do. Problem with pills versus powder is you usually need quite a few capsules to equate to the amount that you're gonna need in your powder, basically. So if you don't mind taking capsules, I can send you a link to some. It's just usually easier for people to stick it in something they're already drinking. Josh will mix it with his Reds. So if you get the Reds too with First Form, you could mix those together. But I personally just like to do it in as little amount of water as possible. So kind of like the wheatgrass shot from Jamba Juice, or one of those like juicing places where you're just taking that like wheatgrass shot, just shoot it, like I wouldn't even make it into this tall ass drink. Just shoot like a tiny little thing. And then because you're in off season, you're bulking, you could have like a slice of an orange to offset that flavor, but just think it's like drinking, it's like what do you do with an Irish car bomb? Most people don't sit there and sip on it, they chug it because it tastes gross, but then you have like a chaser of some sort. Same thing here, just have like a little chaser, a little orange slice on the side. That's what I would do if I was not wanting to drink it, but I just chug it. Mark shoots olive oil. He can do it. I don't think that's what he's shooting. All right. Well, I have taken over the gym at a busy time. Well, it's busy for us because, yeah, we don't like it busy. So I am going to sign off. If y'all don't have any more questions. Remember, we've got Mark here next week. Right, that's next week. Tomorrow, I have good, Rays, do you have good calf genetics when you began, or did you have to train them hard? I trained them hard when I was younger. I was always on my tippy toes. Like this. So I would always play basketball. And that's how I got them. So I worked them out when I was young. Now they're easy to maintain. Tuesday. Yeah, so tomorrow's Wednesday. I will not be here tomorrow doing lives. We actually, remember I told you guys about the manager that gave my clients 6 bananas and a meal. Let's just say she thinks she's entitled to anyway. You look like you wore a lot of heels too. No, Rays, I actually hate heels. I'm always in flip-flops or training shoes. So I better let people use this machine because I've taken it over. But you guys, I will probably do a cardio confessional tomorrow if I do anything. So make sure you subscribe, like, and if you enjoyed this, please share it, especially if it's someone that needs to know about the push machine.